We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your
Ahmadiyyah.
skin?
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
In my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of indictment.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why know me? Is it cause
I'm not going to call P. Diddy a bitch. 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 Sean Combs is a bitch. Yeah. Sean Combs is a bitch. They bitches too. Sean Combs is a bitch. Yeah. Sean Combs is a bitch. Yeah. You don't hit women when you're a man. You don't hit women when you're a man. P. Diddy a bitch. 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 Sean Combs is a bitch. Yeah. I'm not going to call P. Diddy a bitch or any other name like that. But I ain't gonna stop anybody else from doing it. I'm not gonna malign them. P. Diddy a bitch. 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 P. Diddy.
okay? Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay, so hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your Saturday Vitamins. So I hope everyone is having a good day thus far. Let's get ready to get into it. So everyone, please get those likes up as you're coming in. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get into it. All right. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. Let's see who we have in here. All right, Trisha, Cherokee Descendant Dale. Hey, y'all, TV, where have you been? This I am from the UK, Kathy B, Claudette, Priscilla. Support the arts is here. Red Wine Entertainment. All right, shout out to all of my loyal royals. I see you, Jeff ATL, and my moderators putting in work. So let's get it started. Hold on, let me pull the chat up on my phone. Okay. All right. We next, aka DSB, just gifted the channel 5 memberships. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you for all that you do. Okay, you all be sure to shout DSB out for the memberships that he continuously gives this channel. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started because I'm not going to be here long. I just want to bring you all this information. With that all being said, do I have any moderators? I got Vince I am, but where's Desmond? I could have sworn Desmond said he was going to be in here. Okay, so anyway, thank you, Vince, for tuning in, beloved. At least I have one moderator. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. So with that all being said, you all know by now. Okay, Vince. You all know by now that somebody who was close to Diddy and DJ Khaled has been busted in a very serious drug trafficking case. Okay. So let's get into it. Well, actually, before we get into that, let me just talk about something real quick. Now, you guys know I told you yesterday how they have not mentioned the children. And when they talked about Diddy's charges, they say he was charged with trafficking, but nothing about the children, right? And I just find that all strange. You all don't find that weird? Like, why they haven't said anything about these kids? Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. Now, this is just my hypothesis. Could be wrong, but then again, I could be absolutely right. Let me just show this again for those of you who missed it. Now, you all see this like I told you on yesterday, right? I told you that on this docket right here, As you can see, it clearly says as trafficking of children by force, fraud, or coercion. Okay, so now we already saw this yesterday. Now, when I went back to take a look at the indictment, and let me just pull that up, the 14-page indictment, I knew it didn't say anything about children in there, but I said, let me go back and see exactly what it does say. Okay, so now that we have this indictment, right? So on here, it simply says, count 2, as trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Victim 1. Now, it talks about a victim, but it only talks about one victim, doesn't say who the victim is, and we all believed when we initially heard it that it was Cassie. Okay, from at least in or about 2009 up to and including in or about 2018. So that's definitely Cassie, I would say, okay, because she stopped dealing with Diddy in 2018 in the Southern District, whatever. We're going to skip past all that. Now, it goes on to say, the defendant in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats, and force, fraud, and coercion as described in Title 18, United States. And then it lists the statutes and all of that. But that's all it says. That's all it says. Combs recruited, enticed, harbored, all of this. But it just says victim 1. He did this to victim 1 to engage in commercial S acts. Then it says victim 1 was engaging in commercial S acts. So what's really going on here? What is really going on here? Why are they not saying anything about these kids? I want you all to pay attention because something sketchy is going on. Okay. Now think about Tony Busby. Now, when Tony Busby came out and he had that press conference and he said that he had all these kids, remember, he said he had 120 people, 60 men, 60 women. And then he said he had 25 victims who were minors at the time of all this. One was as young as 9 years old. Well, I'm just wondering why none of this has been talked about by the federal prosecutors. Why they haven't said anything about that. Why it was never mentioned in the report. Not even talking about Tony Busby, but why none of the children were mentioned in the report when it clearly says on the docket. And then here's the thing. Now, if you look this up, which I did, let me just go to it real quick, because this is no mistake. It's no misprint. Let me just share this real quick. You all see that? That's the same code and statutes that's on that docket as trafficking of children by force, fraud, or coercion. But yet, no children have been mentioned by the federal prosecutors. Laverne says something in the milk ain't clean. Claudette says, good question. I'm going to tell you what I think is going on here. Okay, some of this stuff going on with Tony Busby, as far as him talking about this 120 people. Now, I want you all to think about when Tony Busby came out. Now, he's talking about all these clients, and then he says he had 12,000 people in 24 hours call the hotline. First thing I was thinking was, who's counting these calls? If you got 12,000 calls, in which he may have, but who? I would like to know who was answering in all those calls and who's vetting all of these people in these so-called cases. Okay, you know what I think? Now, this is just my hypothesis. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I think that this has, there's something that's about smoke and mirrors behind. This is smoke and mirrors. Like somewhere they're throwing us off. Because think about, they told us about the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. They didn't say anything about GHB or anything being in the baby oil. And now, come to find out, he was putting stuff in the baby oil. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that the bottles of baby oil that were confiscated from his residences had GHB in them, but they likely did. Because you have several people who've come out now with lawsuits saying that he squirted oily stuff on them and they couldn't move. Okay, so why are they not talking about that, but more specifically, the children? So what I'm thinking is, Tony Busby came out saying that there was 120 people, 60 men and 60 women. That sounds like numerology to me. Okay, that sounds like he's playing games. That sounds like he's doing the same thing that Christian Keys did. Remember when Christian Keys came out and said, oh, there's a billionaire
who's black, and they offered me $100,000, and I recorded them, and they didn't know it, and I got the recordings. And if they don't, I don't want to have to go to the police, or I don't want to have to file charges, or I don't want to have to sue. Remember when he came out and said all that stuff, and he was very vague? He never told us who exactly it was, but he did give enough information for our minds to start wondering and for us to start trying to figure it all out. I think that's what Tony Busby's doing. Okay? I think and Tony Busby says, oh, I'm going to start calling names. We're going to name names. That's scare tactics. That sounds to me like scare tactics. Okay? At the end of the day. And then remember, when he came back, he said, thank you. We Next, aka DSB, just gifted us 5 more memberships. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. So then when he comes out again and does another press conference, what does he say? He says that some of the people have now reached out to him and they've already settled. They settled that quick, fast, and in a hurry. And he didn't say any of those people's names. Remember, he said he was going to name names. I'll tell y'all what I think is going on here. This is going to be another case of Jeffrey Epstein, where these big time people, and I've been telling you all this, these big time people, they're not going to be named. Their names aren't going to be thrown into the pot. And here's the reason why they're not saying anything about those kids. I want you to pay attention. Now, Tony Busby can say that there was 25 minors. One of them as young as 9 years old, but he doesn't tell us who they were, right? Even though they're adults now. But when you say something happened to children, guess what you don't have to do? You don't have to name names. You don't have to say the names. So are there really 25 children? Was there really a 9-year-old? Is this all a scare tactic? Are they just trying to use this to get Diddy to crumble? Because let's not forget, Diddy has the goods on them. Diddy has one up on them. And I'm going to tell y'all something else too. I figured out why Diddy is not getting bail. Well, of course, we know that he's accused of witness tampering, but why do they really want to hold him in jail? Why did they really go and scoop him up the night before he was supposed to turn himself in? Well, here's the reason. Because they want him under lock and key so they can monitor his movements and monitor his conversations. You know, in jail, if you're talking on the phone, everything's recorded. So they want to know where Diddy's Dropbox is. Okay, they want to know where Diddy's Dropbox is. They want to know where's the rest of that footage and who all do you have footage on? Who's on those tapes? And that's what they want to know. So let's just keep him locked up until we find what we want. You see, here's the thing. Now, people think that Diddy snitched on this person that got arrested in this whole raid, and he may have. But at the end of the day, what I would think is, if Diddy were to try to tell them something about Clive Davis, Lucian Grange, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that because they don't want to lock them up. They'll protect people like them. Now, this is my opinion. They'll protect people like them just like they protected those people that were getting the services that were the clients of Jeffrey Epstein. We all know that Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking minors and all the stuff he was doing, but where are the people who were getting these people from him? So that just sounds like the same thing as far as I'm concerned. Viva says Diddy is not sitting in nobody's jail. You don't even think he's in jail, beloved? At the end of the day, I'm just saying I have several questions, okay? Because the math isn't mathing. The math isn't mathing. We already know that Diddy is the one holding the keys, not them. Diddy has the ups on them right now. That's why they got him in jail. That's why he's not getting a bail. Okay, Support the Arts said, I didn't think of that. Good point. Thank you, beloved. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they need to know where the rest of that footage is and who is on it. They're playing hardball, but so is Diddy. And you have to think about, otherwise, why is Diddy just going up in the courtroom, sitting up in there smiling like it's all gravy? Because literally, remember, they said he was smiling and having a good time. He got excited when he saw his family. Of course, he's happy to see them, but who's smiling when you're sitting in jail with rats, roaches, cockroaches, and all of that, right? Mold and filth, mildew, and the food is trash. And there's even maggots in the food, sometimes they say. And then Diddy's supposedly addicted to drugs. Well, wouldn't he be suffering from withdrawal symptoms? He's not feeling sick. He's sitting in the court smiling. I just have questions. I just have a whole lot of questions. That's all I'm saying. Right, Pencilola said, those sound sketchy. Yeah, I think so. So anyway, I just wanted you all to keep that in mind because at the end of the day, They're not mentioning these kids for a reason. I absolutely think it's because certain people, these high ranking politicians, perhaps these big time record execs, these big time people from the movie industry and all of that, yeah, they're not going to call that stuff out because they don't want to have to involve them. Okay? They don't want to have to involve them. Now, that's just my 2 cents on that. But so now let's talk about it because this guy by the name of Naheem Jorge Bonilla, who's also a music executive and was friends with Diddy and DJ Khaled. In fact, he purchased DJ Khaled's home in 2019. He's been caught up in this big drug case. They raided his home in Aventura. So let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And then one of these people, because there were 16 people involved in this whole organization, supposedly, and one of them is under arrest. Is on the run. Okay, one of them is currently on the run, and he's supposed to be the ringleader. So FBI raids Aventura home of music executive accused in major drug trafficking case. Now, a Miami music exec has been indicted in a massive and allegedly murderous federal drug trafficking case involving criminal activity that spanned from Los Angeles to Miami-Dade counties and beyond, and has the FBI seeking a former Canadian Olympian. Because the guy who was the leader, Ryan Wedding, he's a former Olympian. Okay? Now, how did he get to here? I have questions. Now, mind you, they said this criminal activity spanned from Los Angeles to Miami. And Diddy resides in Los Angeles and Miami. Okay, now according to the indictment, Naheem Jorge Bonilla, who owns the companies Mandrake and Rudo Callero Music, is accused of conspiring to distribute cocaine and meth for Ryan James Wedding and Andrew Clark. Is this man Diddy's plug? Because we know that Diddy's addicted to those drugs, okay? And when they arrested him, when he was at the hotel, there was supposedly drugs in the room. So video from Tuesday night and early Wednesday shows the moments law enforcement swarmed Bonilla's home along Island Estates Drive in Ventura. Okay, so let's go to that video footage. So likes up, everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go.
Led by Ryan Wedding, cultivated a violent transnational drug trafficking empire.
We are learning much more about the FBI raid in Aventura that took place in the early morning hours Wednesday.
FBI sirens were going out. It was saying, FBI, step outside with your hands up. Naheem Jorge Bonilla, we have a warrant for your arrest.
Bonilla, one of many indicted in a massive drug ring, says the FBI. In total, 16 people have been charged.
One defendant was arrested in the city of Aventura.
From March to August of this year alone, we found they had transported just under 2 tons of cocaine. This group was ruthless and violent. They would use contract killers to assassinate anyone who they saw as an obstacle to their operation. This group was led by an individual named Ryan Wedding. Ryan Wedding previously was an Olympic athlete for Canada.
Wedding still on the run.
They would move the cocaine into the Los Angeles area, and from there, move it to the east coast of the United States.
The feds say this was an enterprise that raked in billions. A law enforcement response on Williams Island telling this story as the feds swoop in from coast to coast, breaking up this operation. Okay, let's get to the very latest on this case. Ryan Wedding, who the feds say is the ringleader of this whole operation, he is on the run. The feds offering a $50,000 reward. Now, we're going to learn a lot more when the suspect here in Aventura appears in court in the upcoming days. We'll, of course, keep you posted.
Okay, so you all heard that. Do you all think Diddy is snitching? That could be the case. That could be the case. But hold on, because here's what I find interesting. Do you all remember Diddy's other plug that got arrested and spent about 10 years in prison? You all remember that? I reported on it. Hot Cocoa said Diddy gonna be an scapegoat for the big fish. Oh, gonna be a scapegoat for the big fish. Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised because at the end of the day, these big time people, they're not looking for them. But hold on. Now I know you all remember this. I'm gonna share my screen.
Since he did a lot of favors for me, I kind of felt obligated, being naive. At that time I was 24, obligated to set him up with a bigger amount, which that it kind of, was my big mistake.
So they ask you basically to smuggle a huge amount of, like, they want you to now sort of help be a mule in a way and get some of these across, was it Mexico?
Well, I mean, that was just the first question. Was really, really odd because we used to go to these poker parties up in Harlem, like private parties. And then he asked me one night if something happened because he invested into something, if I could bring some drugs over the border. And I said, no, hell no, I'm not going to do that. I'm scared. And again, I'm a girl, right? I'm not like a street person.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Now, that's the international madam. Okay, she was Diddy's plug at one point, and then she says that she was set up. All right, and let's not forget that I told you guys that Diddy was working for the feds. Okay, he's working for the feds. I showed you all the paperwork. So with that all being said, is Diddy snitching again? Because it all sounds suspicious. Is all I'm saying. Now, I don't know if he is or not. All right, I don't know if he is or not, but if he is, what for? Like, what's this going to get him? He's not getting out of there. All right, that's what he's not going to do at the end of the day. So, but the thing is, they say that in the indictment, they found that these people had been, hold on. What makes me think that maybe this isn't due to Diddy snitching? I don't know. I have questions. It's because, for one, this all started supposedly in March, I do believe. I think this started, they said March to August that they transported all this stuff. So if they were investigating him since March or investigating these people since March, I'm not so sure about that. Now, here's what they say about the guy Ryan Wedding, who's currently wanted by the FBI. He's on the run, the former Olympian. Now, United States prosecutors in Los Angeles, California, have charged a former Olympic snowboarder with allegedly running a large and violent cocaine smuggling operation out of Mexico. On Thursday, the Department of Justice unveiled a 52-page indictment accusing the 43-year-old Canadian athlete Ryan James Wedding and 15 other people of shifting 60 tons of cocaine per year from Colombia to Canada and the U.S. Using long-haul semi-trucks. Now, let me tell you all something. See, this right here, this can't be Diddy snitching. As I'm sitting here thinking about it, this can't be Diddy snitching because, for one, this had to have been a very long investigation for them to find all this stuff out. You see, Diddy could tell them stuff. Let's just say, let's use our critical thinking skills. What if Diddy was to tell them, oh, this guy, Naheem Horie, okay, he's a big time drug smuggler or drug dealer, and they're trafficking drugs from Mexico to the United States, this and that. Well, okay, they can't just go and arrest them and raid the man's house because Diddy said so. There's a lot of investigating they have to do first. And then usually this type of investigation, because they got lots of stuff. I mean, they talk about contract hits where they were getting people murked. All of this stuff that they're saying, they couldn't have just done this, gathered all of these receipts in just a matter of days. Okay. So I don't think this is Diddy snitching at all. I think these people are already under investigation. But let me continue. Now, on Thursday, the Department of Justice unveiled a 52-page indictment, accusing the 43-year-old Ryan. All right, so the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and extradition of Wedding, who's considered a fugitive and uses his aliases El Jefe, Giant, and Public Enemy. Now, agents also raided a $5 million luxury mansion near Miami in South Florida and arrested its owner, 36-year-old music exec and restaurant owner, Naheem Horie Bonilla, who was also named in the indictment. Now, that's the guy that purchased DJ Khaled's mansion in 2019 for $4.8 million. Okay, now Bonilla allegedly received 12 kilograms, and that's about 44 pounds, of cocaine from Wedding and his co-defendant, Andrew Clark, to distribute. So according to the indictment, Bonilla was in debt to Clark and Wedding, and the two men threatened to kill Bonilla's mother if he did not pay what was owed. So Wedding, who competed in the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, also faces charges in Canada in a separate drug case. Now, he was previously convicted in the U.S. of conspiracy to distribute cocaine and was sentenced to prison in 2010. Okay, according to federal records. U.S. authorities believe that after Wedding's release, he resumed drug trafficking for the notorious Sinaloa cartel in Mexico. Now, we do know that Diddy knows about them. Diddy has had some dealings with them because let's not forget, one of those members who's currently in prison sued Diddy. Okay, let's not forget Alfredo P. Gonzalez said Diddy messed up his drug trafficking business. Now, he chose to become he chose to become a major drug trafficker, and he chose to become a killer. This is what Martin Estrada, the U.S. attorney in Los Angeles, told the reporters on Thursday. Authorities also explained that they seized cocaine, weapons, ammunition, cash, and more than $3 million in cryptocurrency in connection to their investigation. Wedding, the Olympian snowboarder, went from navigating slopes to contouring a life of incessant crimes. This is what Matthew Allen, the special agent in charge of the Drug Enforcement Administration, or the DEA, in Los Angeles, said. Now, of the 16 people accused in the drug trafficking conspiracy, 4 remain fugitives. A dozen others were arrested in Florida, Michigan, Canada, Colombia, and Mexico in connection with the case. Now, the criminal enterprise was also allegedly responsible for the murders of 2 members of an Indian family on November the 20th of 2023. Now, that's interesting because that's right after Cassie filed her lawsuit with Diddy. And this happened in Ontario, Canada, who were killed in retaliation for a stolen drug shipment. At least one other person was also killed by the group. Wedding's co-defendant, Clark, age 34, is also a Canadian citizen, known by the alias The Dictator. He was arrested by Mexican authorities on October the 8th, according to the Justice Department. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm just going to take a poll right now. One's in the chat if you all think Diddy snitched for this all to go down. One's in the chat if you think Diddy snitched. Two's if you don't. One's if you think Diddy's the snitch, and two's if you don't. Because you know what's sounding real crazy to me right now? What's not making it plausible to me is the fact that the Sinaloa Mexican cartel is involved. And they don't fool with Diddy. You see, ones, twos, Hundea put a 3. Hey, beloved. So ones and twos. Okay, some of you believe, some of you don't. Here's what I'm going to roll with. I'm going to go against the grain because everybody that's reporting on this is basically saying that Diddy snitching. I don't think Diddy snitched. The main reason, somebody put a 1.5. Okay, Vince. The reason I don't think Diddy snitched is because, for one, they're saying the Sinaloa cartel is involved in this. They don't fool with Diddy. One of them literally filed a lawsuit against him, and the leader accused Diddy, or fell out with Diddy because Diddy allegedly wanted him to get him some minors to traffic, and the man said he wasn't doing it. Okay, and then the other guy, that's the same reason he sued him, for bad-mouthing them. So I don't think they would be in cahoots with Diddy. And also, like I said, this type of investigation doesn't just happen overnight. If Diddy was sitting up in jail snitching, because how long has he been in jail? Since September the 16th, so a month and 3 days. With that all being said, this takes a whole lot longer than a month-long investigation. Please pay attention. All right? This takes a whole lot longer than a month-long investigation. I had to put on my critical thinking hat. All right? Don't think it's Diddy snitching, but I'll tell you what I do think. I think they want us to think that Diddy's snitching. And I think they want the people that may have been on some of those videotapes to think that Diddy's snitching. That's just what I think. Now, we'll see, because it'll all eventually come out in the wash. Okay? It'll all come out in the wash. Pincy Lola said he's snitching to his lawyers. Well, when you're talking to your lawyers, that's not snitching. You're supposed to tell your lawyers everything that happened, because that helps them to be able to give you a better defense. But that's not snitching. Okay? So I don't think Diddy is snitching at all. Keish Love said that part, Queen. Thank you, beloved. I don't think Diddy's snitching at all. And maybe I'll be proven wrong and look like a fool because everybody else has said he is snitching. I just don't think he is, because a month-long investigation, like, it's only been a month and 3 days. Okay, and they had time to gather all of this information. Let's not forget they already spent time going over to London to investigate Diddy's ties over there. Okay, and Diddy had some shady stuff going on over there from what I assessed. But anyway, we'll all find out. Another thing I wanted to say about Tony Busby, before I get started, let's have a word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Likes up, everyone, please. A like and share. Thank you in advance.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right. So don't forget to purchase your 12 Tribes. You can get it at Etsy.com. Look for Lisa Crafts. And also you can find it at Walmart.com. So now before I talk about Kaya Jones, I wanted to say this about Tony Busby. This whole thing with him, like I said, I think it's something sketchy. I think it was just more of, basically the same tactic, a fear tactic or whatever, like what Christian Keys was doing. And then think about it. He said people started calling him and settling. Well, that's probably what he did that for. But I don't think he really has all this stuff going on like he's saying. And then he comes out saying 12,000 people called the phone lines within 24 hours. Who's answering these phones? And better yet, who's keeping track of all of these calls? 12,000 calls. How many people are answering these phones and who's keeping count? That's what I'd like to know. But it sounds like this reminds me of numerology, okay? Because, the devil's in the details, like I always tell you guys, and there's the devil's number in all of this. Now, he said 120 people. Okay, now those of you who follow the spiritual channel know that I tell you that in numerology, you drop the zero from any number. So 120 would be 12. Okay, and 12, there's 2 6s in 12. And then he comes back days later and says 12,000 people called. There again, it's the number 12. Okay, so I'm sorry. Starting to look a little 666 is all I'm saying. So I don't really, I just think this is just some sort of ploy, smoke and mirrors. Okay, I'm not falling for it. And like I said, if there were minors involved, they don't have to tell you who the minors were because they were underage. We know how that goes. So they could pretty much say anything, and who's going to be the wiser? Because we wouldn't even know. Okay, and then just think about how he's just very vague with what he says. Now, he said, at first he came out talking about all these names. Yeah, we're calling names. We're going to be calling all these people. We're going after everybody. We're not just going after Diddy. We're going after anybody that watched, anybody who was there. And he said all this stuff. He says, we're going after the people that had venues and knew about it. Okay, he starts talking about the pharmaceutical companies, and I'm like, what does the pharmaceutical company have to do with any of this? So it's just a whole lot of stuff that he was just saying, and I'm just not falling for it. Okay, I'm just not falling for it. We need to be paying attention because some of this stuff is smoke and mirrors because they don't want to really call out the main people that are involved. Okay, I want you all to pay attention. You see, they want to put Diddy as the face of this nefariousness. Now, he should be a face, but not by himself. What about these other people who had something to do with it? And we know that these people are older, wealthy white men. Okay? But see, pay attention to how they always have the black man as the face of it. Remember how Harvey Weinstein, when he started going down and everything started coming out on him, all these nefarious allegations. Now, y'all who've been watching me know that I showed you the timeline of the events. I showed you how as soon as it started getting, all this attention on Harvey Weinstein, then what did they do? They put out Surviving R. Kelly, and then they start going in on R. Kelly, and then the conversation online changes from Weinstein to R. Kelly. And then that was just like literally months apart. Now, that was interesting because we have heard the rumors about R. Kelly since the 90s. But now y'all want to come and arrest him? That was just to make him the face of it, in my opinion, okay? And it looks like they're doing the same thing again. They're not going to come out with all these big-time people. People are thinking, oh, everybody's going down. Who's going down? All these people are not going down. Do not let them fool you. Yeah, some people will go down, but these big-time people who mentored Diddy, these big-time people who are considered handlers, these people who are the ones with all of the power and privilege, yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. We're not going to hear about any of them. Do you really think they want to put 90-plus-year-old Clive Davis, and I'm not saying Clive Davis had anything to do with it, but even if he did, you really think they want to put him behind bars? Okay, you know what? As a matter of fact, even if Diddy did try to say something about Clive Davis, somebody like Lucian Grange or whatever, now you see how they took Lucian Grange out of that lawsuit. You see how they allowed that to happen. How did he get out of there? They were acting as though he didn't have anything to do with it. Oh, he needs to be removed from the lawsuit. Y'all remember that? Okay. So at the end of the day, it seems like it's going to be more of the same as far as I'm concerned, because think about that video footage of Jonathan Oddie. Now, do you all remember the video footage, the part where Jonathan Oddie's talking to the police about shooting up the Adora Resort? And then when he starts talking about Diddy, and then that black cop told him, okay, I don't want to hear anything else about Diddy. I don't want to hear anything else about Diddy. Why didn't he want to hear it? Why didn't he want to hear it? Because, see, Diddy was not out of favor at that point. Diddy was still highly respected, viewed as an elite, somebody with power, money, and privilege. That cop didn't want to hear nothing about Diddy. Don't talk about him. Let's talk about what you did. Okay, so that's still how that goes. And if you think they don't want to hear about Diddy in 2018, well, they definitely don't want to hear about Clive Davis, Lucian Grange, or anybody else that has power and privilege that's of another skin tone. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now let's talk about the lady from the Pussycat Dolls. Okay, the former member of the Pussycat Dolls, Kaya Jones, because here's what she has to say. Pussycat Dolls star Kaya Jones says the powerful men on Diddy's list are the same suits who abused her. What list? Does she have the list? Because I haven't seen or heard of one. We know there is a list, but where is it? So Pussycat Dolls singer Kaya Jones says Diddy's downfall is bigger than just the rapper himself, and will also bring down entertainment executives who she claims abused her and other artists. Now I want y'all to pay attention to this. Say what now? Y'all hear what this lady said? She said big time record executives that not only abuse her, but others. Y'all don't think that they know this? And I'm talking about the police, that is, because these same people who have been going down there, talking to the grand jury, cooperating with the feds and all of that, and when they're asking them questions about Diddy, and then when they start talking about these other big-time record executives, because I'm sure some of them had stories to tell about them too. You think they just went down there and only had stories about Diddy? I'm sure some of them had stories about these older people that mentored Diddy and the like. Okay? So why haven't any of them been called to the carpet? All right? Please pay attention. Now, goes on to say in an exclusive interview, Jones did not name the men who she claims were involved, but hinted at an industry-wide problem. See, everybody's just hinting. Tony Busby was just hinting. Okay, the DA was just hinting. Nobody's saying anything specific about anybody other than Diddy. Now, she has long claimed that she and other members of the Pussycat Dolls were forced into uncomfortable situations where they feared for their safety. This is way beyond Puff Daddy, and I think the P Diddy stuff has been so alarming for so many people that their eyes are like, whoa. But it's not just him. Our industry has something very wrong because we've allowed this behavior to continue to grow. Not with one gentleman, but many. And not with one woman, but many, many women, okay? Now, no, they all know abuse comes in all forms. Now, Jones recently made headlines when she responded to Elon Musk when the tech mogul reposted an article about Diddy on his X account and asked how many people in music and entertainment knew about this, referring to the allegations that Combs abused at least 120 victims, including a minor. So she responded saying, "Here you go, Elon Musk. I've been speaking since 2017. Now, Combs, 54, was indicted on trafficking and racketeering charges following his September the 16th arrest in Manhattan. Since then, he has been hit with numerous civil lawsuits from New York to California, including allegations he assaulted minors. He has denied any wrongdoing and pleaded not guilty to the criminal allegations. And Mr. Combs His legal team has emphasized he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. Okay, that's what his attorney Erica Wolf said days ago. Now, the Pussycat Dolls creators have long denied Jones's claims. Oh, really? So the Pussycat Dolls creators, the people that started her group, have denied the stuff that she's been saying since 2017. But she is adamant she was abused and says the men who frequented Diddy's notorious white parties were among the predators who tormented her. And she's absolutely not lying. I absolutely believe her. I absolutely believe her. So why won't she say their names? Why won't she say their names? They've already got Diddy. If these people were doing things to her, why doesn't she say who they are? See, that's the thing. Nobody wants to talk. Now, this list is huge, she says. Go bigger than Diddy because you have to start from the people who run these institutions because they've allowed it. That's what Tony Busby said he was going to do, but we've yet to see it. I'm still waiting. There's something going on, and it's not just in entertainment, but entertainment is a really easy industry for these types of individuals to get what they want because you are never told no. So Jones recounted a time when she said she had to fight off a record executive who attacked her while they were in the car. She was in Las Vegas at the time and was offered a ride to the airport to catch a flight back to Los Angeles, where the group was to perform with Spears the next day. Now, while she has chosen not to publicly out her alleged attacker, Jones said the entertainment industry is small and incestuous. Incestuous? Now, why would she use that word? Why would she say incestuous? So people doing things with people that are related to them? What's really going on here? Now, Jones said that she's encouraged that more alleged victims have come forward after Combs' ex, Cassie Ventura, filed her lawsuit on him in November of 2023. Ventura settled the case with Combs, but a video showing Combs viciously attacking her, made its way to the media. Now, Jones said watching the now viral video of Combs kicking and dragging Ventura outraged her but also did not surprise her. She says, I wish I could say I was shocked. I'm appalled that she was treated that way. I'm proud of her for having the guts to come forward and tell the truth that she endured. Jones said that if she had a chance to speak to Combs, she said she would say she is praying for him. She says, I think if anything, you all should be praying for Diddy because where there's smoke, there's fire. And if he can't see his family and friends and he might have to take a plea deal, there are going to be some people who roll over. Jones's interview will be featured on an episode of the Daily Mail's podcast. Well, here's the thing. A lot of these people are saying things. Leah said incestuous, like wife swapping, boyfriend swapping. No, incestuous means incest. That's like you're doing something with a relative of yours. An incestuous relationship, not swapping boyfriends or mates, doing something with people in your own family. That's what that's all about, beloved. But anyway, she said all of that, but didn't really say anything. She says the powerful men on Diddy's list. What list? She didn't name any names, and we've not heard or seen a list. Okay? All we have to go on is the people that we've seen on video footages and pictures that we know hung out with Diddy and frequented some of his parties. That's it. Now, if she is in fact, if she is in fact so upset about these people that did these things to her and others, I'm wondering why she hasn't filed a lawsuit. She said she's been speaking since 2017. So since 2017, she's been speaking but hasn't said any names. I don't know. It just all sounds sketchy. Support the Arts says swapping is a whole different things from what he just said. Right. So anyway, what do y'all think about all this? Songwriter Sonny said, LOL, like label mates, like hooking up with other artists and affiliates of the company. That still wouldn't be incestuous. That still would not be incestuous, beloved. Okay, please pay attention. Incestuous comes from the word incest. All right? Goodness Raider Bo said Cassie had the guts. Exactly, she did. And she said she's proud of Cassie for coming forward, and I am too. But sadly, she's not coming forward. She's not giving any details. So she did that whole exclusive interview just to tell us the things that we already know. And then to say that somebody did things to her and other people, and the music industry is supposedly infested with this kind of stuff, but she's not going to say anything about who it is or whatever. Okay. Question: Who owns the Daily Mail? I don't know who owns it. I don't know who owns it, beloved. It's a conservative. It's a conservative publication. I know that much. It's a conservative publication. So let's see who owns it. News Corporation owns it. Doesn't list the person. It says News Corporation. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's based out of the UK or Australia, but not here in the US. I don't think so. So Leon said, I don't get her. I don't either. Because like I said, she said all of that, but didn't really say anything. Like, girl, give us the receipts, tell some names or something. But this is just going to be more of the same as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Now let's hear about this report. They say Diddy thought of himself as a king. Okay. He thought of himself as a king, and the parties led to his downfall. And they say that he was, in fact, obsessed with Prince Harry and Prince William. There was a time when an invitation to a party hosted by Sean Diddy Combs was one of the most sought after tickets in the entertainment industry. With guest list that included Justin Bieber, Mariah Carey, Paris Hilton, Jennifer Lopez, it was a chance to rub shoulders with some of the biggest celebrities. Jay-Z and Beyonce even released new music at his events. Now, when Diddy winked at you and said, come to the VIP section, you just knew you were going to have a really good night. This is what Rob Shutter, who worked as a publicist for the rapper at the height of his fame, told the BBC News in an exclusive interview. Now, Mr. Shutter's former star client is sitting in a Brooklyn jail cell, a short drive away from the Hamptons, where he once presided over decadent celebrity bashes. Now, Mr. Combs' fall from grace has been swift, with an extensive federal criminal case charging him in an trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. More than a dozen civil lawsuits have also been filed, accusing the music mogul of assaults, rape, and extortion. Now, one lawyer said that he represents more than 100 alleged victims who claim they were abused. Did anybody venture to wonder why a Houston-based attorney is having all these clients? Did anybody stop to think about that? Tony Busby is based out of Houston. And I was like, why would these people go to a Houston-based attorney unless they all live in Houston, which they don't? So I just don't know how that makes any sense. Because surely these allegations that they're talking about didn't happen in Houston. But anyway, I digress. So it goes on to say the Harlem-born rapper has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, whether in relation to the criminal or civil allegations. Now, a spokesperson denied the allegations against Diddy and told BBC News of this story that Mr. Combs remains strong, healthy, and disciplined, fully committed to his defense with the unwavering support of his family, legal team, and truth. He's set to go to trial May of 2025. Mr. Shutter, who worked for Diddy from 2002 to 2004, said that Mr. Combs was at a pivotal moment in his career when he started working for the rapper. Mr. Combs had founded Bad Boy Records in 1993, a label that represented some of the biggest names in hip-hop, including artists like Notorious B.I.G. and Usher. In 1998, he created the Sean John clothing line that later became a cultural phenomenon. Now, from there, he dipped into fragrances, alcohol, and even set up a media company, becoming the host of multiple reality shows where he would discover new talent and make people stars. Mr. Shutter said that when he first joined the rapper's world, Mr. Combs wanted to transform his persona and elevate his career, looking to use his parties to keep himself at the center of the entertainment industry. He was just figuring out that he could get the most attention, or how he could get the most attention, and that was to become the party king of New York. Mr. Shutter said that Mr. Combs was obsessed with power and a deep desire to remain famous, explaining the star loved to have his photo taken and wanted to show off his lifestyle. It was Mr. Shutter's job to help keep Diddy at the top. Now, being part of his entourage, he said, that was like being part of a circus. The rapper was the ringmaster. Now, he said he never witnessed any sexual misconduct. I find that interesting. I find that interesting that he said Diddy was the ringmaster, because didn't I tell you all that when this stuff started going on? I said Diddy's the ringmaster of this whole thing. Now, he said, I've seen the imbalance of power. What I haven't seen is what is now alleged, which is just horrific. Y'all think this man hadn't seen anything? Maybe he didn't, but I'm not buying it. The reason he was such a superstar is because all he thinks about is Diddy. From the minute he wakes up until the minute he goes to bed. Okay, Diddy's hobby is Diddy. He also claims that Mr. Combs also held a deep fascination with the British royal family. Mr. Shutter says that he remembers being asked more than 10 times to call Prince Harry and Prince William with invites to the parties, offering to cover their travel, lodging, and even pay for their security. It sounds like Diddy was thirsty. Now, in his lavish New York apartment, the rapper kept framed pictures of the princes. Mr. Shutter was explaining. He says he thought of himself as a king, so it makes perfect sense that he would like to have 2 princes in his entourage. I absolutely believe it. And I bet you Diddy even wanted to be knighted by Queen Elizabeth, like his friend Lucian Grange was, so he could be Sir Sean Diddy Combs. Okay, please pay attention. Diddy is nothing but a clout chaser. Now, both Harry and William never accepted an invite from Combs. But saying no to the music mogul wasn't something that many others did. Now, there were always guns around Diddy, Mr. Shutter says, describing metal detectors in his apartment that resembled those at an airport. It was strange. Mr. Shutter described firearms all over the rapper's home. Now, why would Diddy need metal detectors and guns everywhere? Okay, Dorana said they were smart. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why would he need guns and metal detectors everywhere like he's living in the hood? Red Wine Entertainment says, I was wondering when Prince Harry's name was going to come up. Indeed, Queen. Okay. They did have a picture of him standing next to Diddy, but I told you all back then, I said, I've never heard anything shady about Prince Harry being at those parties or engaged in any sort of nefarious activities. Now, it goes on to say that he had guns all over his home. And in his private living quarters, security guards had guns strapped to their ankles. Mr. Combs held a close circle and was serious about both his security and his image. He says, you don't get to be Diddy unless the people around you were buttoned up. There was nobody around him sloppy. So in the Los Angeles area, the rapper lived on what has become now known as Beverly Hills' most expensive street. The high fences allow celebrities to hide from prying eyes. Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion sits a few doors down. The towering gates of Mr. Combs' estate have flaming torches burning night and day. Neighbors told the BBC they often called police over his parties. Remember Diddy said that in the old interview that they're going to be calling the police on him about those parties, so the neighbors literally called the cops on him. Now, a Freedom of Information request by the BBC has revealed that officers were dispatched to the parties at the P. Diddy mansion 14 times over 7 years. On a street where discretion and privacy are the utmost importance, no one wished to be named, but neighbors described privately to the BBC what they witnessed, saying they were fed up and disturbed by what they saw. For 6 or 7 years, it was just parties, 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 one neighbor says, adding that she saw females at all hours coming out and sitting down on the street. They didn't know where they were. Okay, pay attention to that, because clearly they were drugged up. She said they appeared lost and their underwear were showing. Mr. Combs' mansion in Beverly Hills was one of several venues that he used to host his annual White Party, a flagship event which he held from 1998 to 2009. Now, he began the parties in New York's exclusive Hamptons area with a strict all-white dress code, bringing together East Hampton's old money elites and the rising stars of hip-hop. Mr. Combs once described the parties as a way to break down racial and generational barriers. But the hottest party of the year was a facade that allowed sinister conduct, according to a recent lawsuit. Now, in the lawsuit, which was filed last week, a man who was 16 years old at the time described the thrill of getting to attend Mr. Combs' first white party in 1998. Walking into the Hamptons mansion, he saw celebrities and entertainment executives left and right. In the lawsuit, he also said that he believed the party had opened doors to a music career. He said he was on his way to the bathroom. Well, we already know this, okay? He went in the bathroom. Diddy followed him. I then told him to drop his pants, and then he grabbed his business and then said, "My people will be in touch." Now, with that all being said, there was another 2 lawsuits that center on the parties. Former adult star Andrea English claimed that she was groomed and trafficked over time. More than a dozen civil lawsuits in total have been filed, accusing the music mogul of assaults, rape, and sexual extortion. In these lawsuits, both men and women say they were coerced or forced into sex either by Mr. Combs or those in his entourage. Others say they obliged because they were intimidated by Mr. Combs and his power, the power that he held over the entertainment industry. Some described having their careers derailed or opportunities taken from them when they didn't cave to Mr. Combs' whims. So Mr. Combs' legal team has dismissed the lawsuits as clear attempts to garner publicity. And in response to this story, a spokesperson for the rapper told BBC News that allegations of wrongdoing at his notorious parties were unfounded. They say Sean Combs' white parties and other events were iconic, a true convergence of hip-hop, Hollywood, and Black excellence. Ha! Is that what they want to say? It's disappointing to see the media and social commentators twist these cultural moments into something they're not. Shaming celebrities who attended, taking video clips and photos out of context, and trying to link these events to false allegations is simply untrue. Singer Cassie, who dated the rapper off and on for nearly a decade, started in 2007, accused him in a lawsuit filed in November. And basically says that she felt like she was powerless. Okay, so the rest of this is just all pretty much the same. They talk about his 14-page indictment, the freak-offs, the graphic details in Cassie's lawsuit. They talk about Thalia Graves. Says he wanted to make himself the most famous person in the world, and ironically, now he is, says Shutter. Shutter says, but now he is. Yeah, this is all true. This is absolutely all true. So I'm going to tell you all like this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Who has P. Diddy made a star? Name one. Oh, please. P. Diddy was an energy vampire. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, honey, he didn't make anybody a star. I mean, we could say he made Biggie one briefly, but he made more money off of Biggie's fame than Biggie ever did. Okay? I want you all to pay attention. Mark says, how could you be a victim when you kept coming back? This case is weak. There's definitely some holes in the case. And it seems to me like they're trying to hide some information, and for a reason, I do believe. I don't think this is going to turn out the way everybody's thinking either. Duso says, what about Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Clive Davis? Tommy Mottola, Trump, Kamala Harris, and Oprah. Kamala Harris, Oprah. Do so. I mean, don't hold back, beloved. Tell us who you really think was involved, okay? Red White Entertainment said he was about himself. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Jamie says, I just wanted to let you know, I don't know if you know Sean Combs' mom, Janice, has been arrested. Hold on. I sure didn't know, but thanks for telling me. Thanks for telling me that, beloved. Didn't I tell y'all that she might get caught up because she had all that stuff in her name? Now, is that why she's arrested? I don't want to jump the gun. But let's see what's going on here. This is all nefarious. Yeah, I don't see anything about her being arrested, beloved. I don't see anything about her being arrested. Are you trolling? Because sometimes y'all come here trolling the queen, honey, with fake news. I don't see anything about her being arrested. Hold on, let me look one more time. Carolyn said, thank you. That's what I said. She stayed 15 years and let him do all that. Oh, heck, no, 5 years. 5 years in, I'm gone. Honey, I would have been going in the first time he started trying to make me have relations with these SEX workers or going upside my head or any of that stuff. Skeletor said, hold on. The queen has officially added beloved to my vocabulary. Okay. Dorana said it must be wig too, trolling queen. All right. Kimberly said he was beating his mother up too. Well, that's what they have said. Mary said his mom has not been arrested. Okay. Pencilo said that would be breaking news. Sometimes breaking news happens when we're on live, but yeah, that woman has been arrested. Okay, Jamie, I don't know why you sent up her trolling. All right. I don't know why you did know that I was going to look for the receipt first, right? And please have several of them. Seats, that is. So anyway, with that all being said, let me make sure there's nothing else before I roll up out of here. Listen, just so you guys know, I have some more information from my inside source. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna get into it now because I'm going somewhere soon, and that's why I just came on here to do this live real quick. Hold on. Okay, so there's no more information about Diddy. All right, so anyway, Sandy says, does anyone know the Queen's numerology channel? I don't have a numerology channel, beloved. Okay, I don't have a numerology channel. That's a good idea, though. All right. Goodness Trader Bo says, LL, right, Queen. I only signed up to have SEX with you, not the whole bad boy. Oh, Goodness Trader Bo, you are something else. Okay, you are something else. All right. Lisa says, I saw the CBS News last night about the Drug Association arrest last night. I think that's the second one in Diddy's circle to get arrested for drugs. The first one was Brendan Paul. The first one was Brendan Paul. Like I said, Diddy may be snitching, but I don't think so. I don't think Diddy's snitching. I don't think so because, like I said, that would have been a months-long investigation to find out all this stuff. Because even if Diddy knew that they were selling drugs, trafficking drugs or whatever, would he know other intricate details, specifically things that were going on with the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico? Would he know about the amounts of drugs they were trafficking? Would he know about somebody stealing the drugs and then somebody getting murdered? I don't know if he would know all of those things. But I do know one thing. You all need to tune in to the next broadcast because I got some receipts on Diddy and they are all nefarious. Okay, they really are. Like I said, I don't have time to get into it because I don't have time to sit up here and do a 2 or 3 hour live. Okay, but we're gonna get into it. And it's not just Diddy. I got some receipts on from this insider. Okay, it's a couple of other people too. And with that all being said, Support the Arts said, if we don't support, oh Lord, Support the Arts, please don't start. If we don't support Kamala, this country will crumble. Okay, beloved. If you say so. Queen Samson, he's snitching on lower level folks and not on heavy hitters. Yeah, let me tell you something. And here's the thing. He doesn't even have to snitch on them because that's not going to do him any good. At the end of the day, those are the people that are going down, though. If anybody goes down, it's going to be the low-level people. Like you said, it's going to be the people that were, bodyguards, staff members, people who were helping him, aiding and abetting. But these big-time people, We're not going to hear anything about them. These people are not going to be called to the carpet. These people are not going to be indicted. Okay, they will never go before a grand jury. And we will never know who they in fact are. Now, we might think we know, we may have our own assessment, but at the end of the day, they're not going to confirm it. It's going to be just like with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm telling you guys. Because here's the thing too. I want you all to pay attention. Diddy's locked up behind bars. Diddy would not dare. Now, this is my opinion, but I don't think Diddy would dare snitch on people like Clive Davis if he was doing anything nefarious. Not saying that he was. Lucian Grange. I don't think Diddy would do it because guess what? Diddy's family's out there. Do you know that anything could happen to any member of his family if he started running his mouth and snitching on the wrong person or people? Y'all know that, right? I mean, think about it. If he was to start snitching on people, they would first need to go get every member of his family and put them in a witness protection program or somewhere, get them some kind of protection, because especially if he's snitching on a drug cartel, the Sinaloa cartel. Now, I hope you all know this is the most nefarious, notorious drug cartel in the world, allegedly. The Mexican Sinaloa cartels. So if he's snitching on people that are dealing with them, yeah, I think that and they already had contract hits put out according to that report. You think his family would be safe? I don't think so. So that's one reason I definitely don't think Diddy was snitching. I don't think Diddy's snitching. But I think they want us to think that Diddy's snitching. Just remember I told you that when it all comes out in the wash. Now, like I said, I could be wrong and I have no problem being proven wrong, but that's just my theory. Okay? That's just my theory. At the end of the day, RG Tide said El Chapo's people. All right? Hey, Luna, beloved. Okay. So with that all being said, I'm about to get up out of here. And they done gave up their passports. Yeah, that's right. I didn't think about that, Queen Sam. You're absolutely right. So Diddy's family has already turned in their passports to his attorneys and all of that. And so if Diddy started snitching on certain people, like big time, wealthy, elite, powerful people, come on now. His family would absolutely be in danger. They would absolutely be in danger. If they can't get to Diddy because he's in jail, they could definitely get to them. So I don't think that's going down. I mean, I'm not saying it isn't plausible because it could be, but I just don't think so. All right. Diddy gonna leave like Jeffrey Dahmer by the hands of an inmate. Okay. December says that chick that Jay-Z made and CEO is from a cartel family, allegedly Kanye's wife too. Now, see, I didn't know Kanye's wife was, but the lady that is now, what is her name? Oh my gosh, what is that lady's name? Perez. What is her first name? Her last name is Perez, I want to say. Yeah, I did a video about her. Yeah, she definitely was involved in drug trafficking. Yeah, that's what her and her husband both got caught up in. Okay. But she snitched. Okay. She told. That's why she's out right now. She told Desiree Perez. Thank you, RG Titan, beloved. Okay, so anyway, with that all been said, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your strong end, not your weak end, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Okay, RG Titan said, she snitched on Griselda Blanco. Yeah, she did. She did. She sure did. Okay. So anyway, I will talk to you all. Hey, Dervis. Yvonne said, thanks for your time, Queen. Thank you, beloved, for your time. Okay. So listen, I love you all to life. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Now, I don't think you guys will hear back from me today or tonight, because I have things to do. I have an engagement. Okay. Please pay attention. But I will be back on here tomorrow. Okay. With some very nefarious receipts that you won't hear anywhere else. I promise you. If y'all thought that information I gave y'all yesterday was juicy, you ain't heard nothing yet. That's all I'm saying. And let me just tell you all something. Somebody had the nerve, before I go, let me just be petty for a second. Y'all know I can help myself. But there was somebody, thank you, Leah, said that blue looks great on you, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Let me tell y'all something. There was somebody who got in my comment section yesterday and said, oh, she gives great information, but when she drops the ball when she pauses to look for stuff, maybe she'll become a better podcaster. Like, honey, sit down somewhere. I told them I didn't drop the ball. I sat up here and did a 3.5 hour video and was dropping receipts the whole time, literally. Dropping receipt after receipt after receipt. I'm sorry if I had to stop and pause and look for some. Okay? I'm sorry. All right. Now, So what I'll start doing, more likely than not, is not doing covering so much information in one video, because I really don't like sitting up here for 3 hours. I'll have to start doing separate videos, because with all that information, it is very difficult to keep up with all these different receipts. Okay? So anyway, Black Aviator said, help yourself, Queen. All right, you know I will. All right, so with that I've been said, you all enjoy the rest of this day, and I will talk to you all again soon. Each one, teach one is how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Yo, Nick, hit him with that flavor.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got